I'm a divorced single dad, father of 5 kids. It can be tough raising kids today. Believe me, there are high times and low times. It comes with the territory. But in all my years of parenting, I try to give some good advice. Advice for those parents who are out there willing to listen. My name is Price Van Ray, and welcome to my show. Today I'm going to be talking about setting yourself apart. This is what you want to instill in your children. But first, I want to congratulate all the new parents out there. Boy, are you in for the time of your life. This is an exciting time and a great adventure, so cherish every moment. Now on with the show. So today, like I said, we're going to be talking about setting yourself apart. Things you want to instill in your child and how they can set themselves apart, which is a great thing because in life, I think you want your child to be set apart. You don't want them to do what everybody else does, follow the crowd. I mean, if somebody jumps off a river, you don't tell your kid, go follow him. You say, hey, I want you to set yourself apart and be different. So how do you do that? Well, let's start with the first thing. We can always work out. You know, when you work out, you feel good. You get those endorphins going and you get physically fit. Kids always seem to be working out though. And do you know why? Because kids always seem to be on the go. They're always running to something, running from something, running with their friends. If they're outside, like I was when I was a kid, I'd be on my bicycle all day, just riding all through the neighborhood with the neighborhood kids. We'd go to the creek. We'd catch pollywogs. We'd catch insects. Of course, we'd let them go. But I mean, exercise. That's what kids do and they need. And this, in my opinion, is something you have to instill in your child at a very young age. I mean, these are great habits to have. And when your child can exercise and work out at a young age, this is something they can take with them when they get older. I mean, there's a lot of things they can do too. Setting yourself apart. Some people say eat clean. I say eat clean. To get away from all the junk food, the food that will make you sluggish and tired. I mean, you don't want to keep eating sugar buns or sweeteners and candy 24 hours and soda. I mean, that's not a great thing to do. And a lot of us parents, we have years and years of, in my opinion, conditioning, or we just gave up on ourselves. But that doesn't mean we can't teach our children. Show them, hey, look at me. This is what's going to happen if you don't exercise, work out, or eat clean. And you don't want that. You want to tell your child, listen, I want you to live a long time. I want you to be healthy. Keep your body fit. Because if you don't, well, if you're not in shape, you can use yourself as an example, like I do with my children. By no means do I exercise all the time. I just don't. I wish back then somebody had have just sat down and talked to me and said, hey, you got to get into this routine. But it is all my fault too. I can't blame everybody else. And you don't want your child to blame everybody. Tell your child responsibility. Tell them these are some of the things you have to do to set yourself apart from others. When your child grows, you want to explain to him in life, later on in life, as you get older and you get a job, it's good to have multiple sources of income. You never know what's going to happen. If your job lays you off, if your job closes, anything like that, you want to make sure bills can get paid. If you have bills, or if you need to buy something, food, clothes, anything, it can get done. Multiple sources of income is a great thing. Nothing we should shudder at. This is things you have to teach your child. And you know, when your kids are young, I mean, this is with all kids. All kids are very self-conscious of what other people say about them. Some kids will say, you're ugly, or you're fat, or you're too skinny, or you're stupid. or what's wrong with you. They'll just find things to pick on you about. But you have to teach your kids. Don't worry about the opinions of others. You need to just be strong, stay strong, and brush it off. Of course it's hard, especially when you're a child. It takes probably years and years of learning how to ignore it. Because let's face it, we are all human. We all of us have feelings. And those feelings do get hurt. But we have to come to a point in our life where we really can't care about other people's opinions and what they think of us. Because something like that will keep us up at night. It hurts us more. You have to let go of the anger, the pain, the reoccurring nightmares of what they say. And it is hard. I'm not going to say it's not. Everything in life is hard. And it takes work. But you can not only do it, but you have to teach your child at a young age just these basic things. You know, it's a lot to be a parent. There isn't just 10 things to say, hey, do this, and having a kid's perfect. No, it's a lot of things, a lot of little things. And you, as a parent, or a new parent, or a parent to be, you're going to learn this. But I swear it will be rewarding, and you will be a great parent. You have to believe in yourself. You can do it. I mean, I have 5 kids. Now, I'm not going to say I was perfect with all 5 kids, because there are going to be times when you feel like you made mistakes. You're going to feel like you fell short of maybe responsibilities or being dedicated or anything. But that comes with being a parent. Like I said, we're all human. We all learn. We all make mistakes. But you know what? At the end of the day, we all grow from stuff like this. And that's what you, as a parent, will do. You will grow. You have to believe in yourself and believe in your child. Teach your child to set themselves apart. That's what we do. That's how we grow. You have to tell your child to take responsibility for all aspects of their life. The funny thing about life is, it can be very long. If you are lucky enough to live a very long life to old age, hey, you're all set. You're good as gold. But you have to take responsibility for everything you've done in your life. For all the successes, for all the great things you've done, for all the positive things you have done in people's lives, and how you've touched everybody's lives in a positive way. How you've made an impact, not only in your child's life, but your parents' life. And teach this to your child, because when your child grows up, they're going to realize they made an impact too. Take responsibility for all aspects of your life, but I'm sorry to say, all the bad things in your life too. You have to take responsibility for it. Maybe you missed one of your kids' games. Maybe you forgot a birthday. Anything. But kids learn by example. You have to be the example. And if you want your kid to take responsibility for all aspects in their life, you have to do the same thing, because you're teaching them. This is how we teach our kids. We teach our kids at a young age. This is what you do. Take responsibility for all the positive things and all the things that aren't positive, because it's their life. They have to own it. They have to respect it. They have to live it. Their life. It's a good thing, life. And if, like I said, they're lucky enough to live a very long life, oh, the joys they will have, the memories. Memories, that's a great thing. Because when you get older, you can reflect back on them. You can look back and say, this is what I did. I worked out. I ate clean. Multiple sources of income. And I didn't worry about what other people thought. This is what your child will be saying. But this is what you're saying too. Because, come on, it's like a circle. When you draw a circle, you put that pencil on that paper and you start to draw that circle and you end at the beginning, hey, it comes full circle. You begin at the point and you end with that point. It's a full circle. Circle of life. With your child. Your child's right there in the passenger seat. You got to drive them. Let them know. Teach them. How to set yourself apart. Well, listen, you have to leverage your skills. That's right. Whether you know it or not, you have skills. Whether your skill is talking, communicating, whether your skill is being kind, making somebody smile, playing an instrument, being there for somebody, smiling. Do you know a smile can impact a person's life? It can make them feel good about themselves and their day. A smile is so powerful. One of the most powerful things there is. A gentle smile. Something that if you have, you can share it. A lot of people don't smile. Set yourself apart. You see a stranger, just give them a smile. You don't have to know them. Teach your child, hey, just smile. Let somebody feel good about themselves. Set yourself apart, my child. I have 5 kids, and they all have their different strengths and different weaknesses. But one of my kids loves to read. I mean, it is, I don't want to say it's sickening how much they read, but it is fascinating. She reads this book. She'll read a book like 500 pages, 900 pages, and these books are so thick. I'm sorry. Say, I don't want to disturb you while you're reading, I'll say to her. She has read so many books. If I were to take all those books, I could probably fill up half my bathroom. I got a small bathroom. She sets herself apart from all my other kids because she loves to read. Reading is her thing. They say reading's good for you too. It helps your mind, helps you focus, helps you concentrate, helps your imagination. I love to read comic books. And for those of you out there who don't know, I am an author of books. I have a few books out there. So I guess I'm a reader myself. But reading, like they say when I was growing up, is fundamental. You have to know how to read in life, and you should try to be a good reader. My dad, rest his soul, he passed a few years ago of Parkinson's disease. He graduated high school, I think when he was 21, because he lived in Mississippi. He was the son of a sharecropper. And he wasn't a strong reader, I guess, when I was born. But when I was growing up, he was teaching me how to read. He would cut out words and paste them on a board. And he'd have me every night reading them over and over, so I'd learn how to read. And then later on, I found out, my mom told him that to be a good reader, he should read the newspaper every day. And every day, I would see him reading the newspaper in the kitchen, by the kitchen table. Every day he'd be reading that newspaper and doing a few puzzles. Hey, he set himself apart. He was a good reader. That he was. And he was my dad. You want to set yourself apart? Provide value. Tell your child, provide some kind of value. Be valuable to a friend, a company. But let's go back to friends. If you're valuable to your friends, you want to be there for them. I mean, in a good way, a positive way. I mean, if they're up to no good, hey, you should get some new friends, you tell your child. But you want to have a good circle of friends. You want to be honest, trustworthy. Be there for them. You provide that value. Hey, friends are hard to come by. 1 in a million. A diamond in a rough. And when you find yourself a good friend, oh, how amazing that will be. You'll be friends for life. Hopefully you'll be friends for life. I mean, sometimes you drift apart when you grow up, you get married. But you want to tell your child this. Teach your child. Provide value. When you go to a company, they depend on you. Provide value and set yourself apart. You want to tell your child in life you want to crush your goals. I mean, if you have goals, crush them, baby. Crush them like there's no tomorrow. You want to be an artist? Be a super artist. Be a master artist. Crush them. Now, I say master artist, although I'm an artist. I went to school for animation. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll ever be a master artist, but hey, I crushed being an artist. I like to draw. Now, I don't think I'm that great of an artist. Some people say I got something. Got a little something. But let's face it, there's all levels of artists. I consider myself a cartoonist. Now, my mom's a master artist. She can draw anything. Her art skills make mine look like nothing. It's amazing. She's so great. I think that's where I got my art skills from my mom. I remember when I was younger, my mom took me to one of her art classes. She was taking up at American International College right down the street. And I was so fascinated. I was really young. I was so fascinated watching everybody do like twig paintings. So I picked up one of the twigs. It's a special twig painting is when you take a piece of wood, like a branch, and you dip it in ink and you draw with it. It's amazing. People were drawing realistic pictures, and I was so fascinated. I said, "Are you kidding me? They're actually drawing stuff that looks exactly like that? It's amazing." I have one of the pictures, I believe, that I drew. I don't have the other one, but it was amazing. Crush those goals. In life, you want to set yourself apart. You want to get better every day. Get better at whatever you do, at being a good person, at being a great human being. You want to get better every day, every single day. That's what we do. We get better. And I know you can do it too. You could tell your child, get better. Tell your child, never give up. So like I said, set yourself apart. Work out. Eat clean. Have multiple sources of income. Don't worry about what other people say or think of you or their opinions. You need to worry about yourselves. And tell your child this. Tell your child to read. Like I said, my daughter, she loves to read. She sets herself apart from everybody and crushed those goals. Now, it's story time. Brian was a boy who wanted to play football. But to be honest, he was never any good at the sport. He couldn't throw. He couldn't catch. Heck, he couldn't even run. Brian was paralyzed from the waist down, so he was confined to a wheelchair. But every day, Brian would show up at the field to support all the players in the sport that he loved so much. As the years went by, all the players soon graduated high school, and so did he. But his love for football and the game is something he never stopped loving. He went on to college and graduated, and in the end, he got his dream job. You see, in life, when things don't work out the way you want, you have to set yourself apart. He knew he was unable to physically play football, the sport that he loved, but guess what? That did not stop him from being a coach. And the best coach that he could be at any high school. Guess what? He became a coach at the high school he graduated from. And he was happy, and they were happy to have him. There are many Brians in the world out there, and sometimes you have to set yourself apart from others. Because whether you know it or not, it's not about winning or losing, but about how you can play the game on your own field. I want to thank you for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when a new episode is posted. Rate and review this podcast and share it with your family and friends. I hope you leave with something positive. I'll see you next time here. And remember this one last bit of advice. Tomorrow is never promised. So don't go to bed angry at your child or anyone you love. And before you go to bed tonight, hug your child and tell them, I will love you forever, Dad. See you next time here on Forever Dad.